to Multiple Shenanigans. My name's Jeanette.
My name's Lytisha.
And today we will be talking about red snow. Not actually red snow, but you know, the two things.
Red and snow, snow and red.
So, Lytisha, how has your week been?
Well, it's not been the best week, I have to confess. It's a case of if it can go wrong, it has gone wrong. I only 2 hours ago got my laptop back from having a new hard drive installed because that had gone wrong. And I couldn't take that any earlier than I did because my car brakes had gone wrong. So I had my car brakes done. And while my brakes were being done, they pointed out my tyres were illegal. And then I've also been convinced I had a leak on my radiator. So I had to get a plumber out in between all of this. And the plumber looked at the radiator and said, "That's not a leak." I was like, "But that's stuff that's come out from the inside of the radiator." And he went, "Yeah, but it's not a leak." It's like, well, it wasn't water, but it was white.
Was it?
White stuff. The white stuff had run down the pipe. So it had clearly come out of the radiator. It's just, but it's not water. I said, but it's come from the inside of the radiator. So anyway, he didn't do a lot, balanced the system. I'm now keeping an eye on it, as he said. I'm not convinced it's resolved whatever the problem was. I like at the back of my head, because you know how a little thing gets a little bit bigger and you get a bit paranoid about it and you make a mountain out of a molehill sometimes because your brain's in overload. So I'm convinced now that there's a pipe somewhere under my floors that's about to explode and just flood my house.
I know. I've got a general fear of our boiler, that it one day it's just going, just gas and hot water. And
so how's your week been? Because you had a leak last time we spoke. You had a leak.
It is resolved.
Yay!
Hooray! Yeah, really good, because I got stuck in this situation where I would phone a plumber and they'd say, "Oh, you need somebody who can blast it through." And then I'd phone that person and they'd go, "Oh, we only do outside drains, you need a plumber." And it was like, I don't know who I need. But luckily somebody recommended a man to me. He's kind of like an in-between. His speciality is blasting stuff, like cleaning wheelie bins. And then I thought, is he just a man with a cart? One of those Karcher washers, like my mum's got. But on the phone, I explained it to the man. I said, "Look, we've got a flat was built in the 60s. The pipes are very thin. They get stuck every few years, and the man before said this will happen. You just need someone to blast them through." He was dead friendly and like, yeah. And then he turned up, and the kind of friendliness suddenly became a bit more like he didn't know what he was doing. So we were trying to be all like, this is fine. And I told him exactly what he needed to do. And he got to the pipes and he was like, "Oh." He was looking up, "Oh." And then he started saying, "Well, normally I would get the blaster onto the taps, but you've got funny taps." I was thinking, they're not that funny. They're like a mixer kitchen tap, not crazy. Oh, we're in the other room and Alex is going, "I think this man's just like buying time and like expanding this job." And I was like, "Oh, I think so too. Oh no, what we've done." It was all a bit shit. trying to think this is going to be okay. And eventually it was okay. He messed around for ages. We went downstairs to get some stuff and was about 20 minutes. I was thinking, oh. But then he came back, did the job and left, and it was all fine, and he didn't overcharge us or anything.
Hooray! Hooray!
I felt a bit guilty then, but he was a bit casual with his mask, though. I didn't enjoy that. Pulling it down. I want a thoroughly masked workman. That's so wrong.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. When the the plumber came to look at my radiator, he came to the door, and I put my mask on to open the door, and I said, "Have you got a mask?" And he went, "Oh yeah."
And
he said, we've all got to be really careful at the moment. I said, "Yeah, we have, and some of us particularly, because we're prone to catching everything that's going." So then he pulled it out of his pocket and put it on. If I'm going to someone's door, I put my mask on before I knock on the door. Is it because we're getting paranoid, or is it because other people are not thinking?
Bit of both, I think. But I'd really thought ahead, and I'd put a mug with a tea bag in and a spoon, so I could say to him, "If you want tea, it's there." Then I regretted that, because then he was like, "Mask on, tea."
Who'd have thought in the lockdown that one of the most disturbing decisions is, do I offer them a cup of tea?
Yeah. Should I be rude in this way, or look completely like I'm about to have a breakdown because he's meddling with his mask? But anyway, we can wash up with ease. We can wash clothes. It's a beautiful thing.
Red. That's a very nice red jumper you're wearing.
Thanks. It's nice and thick.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually look, but it's very chunky. Do you want the story? I've got a story.
Yeah.
It's not a story, but it's a reason that I have this jumper. So it's a poker reason, because the place where we played poker, the casino, it's like a proper casino, and then it has a poker room. In the poker room, it's freezing, like really cold. So then that's the weird, like, entertainment at nighttime venue, weird place with nerds in hoodies and stuff. So I never quite knew. I wanted to be warm and comfortable and not look like an idiot monk, but also I didn't then want to go into a nice glitzy place and feel like some weird jumper wearing. So this jumper, you could do put it up, or you could bring the shoulders down. It's like a shoulderless one.
It's multi-purpose.
You can feel a little bit more glamorous if you want it. Now I've demonstrated that. That feels ridiculous. But
no, it looks great. I get that. It's a versatile, so you can feel snuggly and warm.
Or it's not shoulder.
Hey, check me out. I'm a glam cat in a jumper.
I'm not out of place at a roulette wheel.
Exactly.
So yeah, and it was adequately warm.
And you can't be adequately warm.
You can't. This is the reason why we want fingerless gloves from your cupboard.
I'm going to tell the viewers what happened earlier this week. Part of my week going wrong was because I had all of these issues going on in my head at once, and I couldn't quite decide what I was doing first. I'd gone out to try and get my tyres sorted at the second place, not the first place. And I got a message from Jeanette that said, "Are you okay?" And I thought, well, yeah. But earlier that morning, in previous episodes, we were talking about leg warmers, and one before that we were talking about fingerless gloves. So I got my leg warmers and my fingerless gloves out of the cupboard. I took a photo of them and sent it to Jeanette that morning. Then I went off panicking about doing all the tyres and stressing and not concentrating. I got a phone call and a message saying, "You okay?" It's like, yeah. I'm sitting in the car park in the rain in the middle of nowhere, and it's not where I want to be, but I'm okay. And he's like, "Oh, I thought we were doing our recording today." It's like, oh.
I had my jumper on, it was all set.
And I was actually wearing red. I was wearing my red dress. Somewhere in my subconscious, when I got dressed first thing, I was planning to do the recording. But by 3 o'clock, completely out of my head. And when I looked at my diary, it just had the number 3. I because it's that short-term memory thing where you start to write it down and get distracted, forget to write it down, and then because I rely on my diary, I went back and just said the number 3, and I couldn't work out what the number 3 was for.
And I sent you an email and you didn't reply, and I was like, I was going to check on this. She'd not sent me the link for the Zoom. What's going on? She has sent me a picture of some fingerless gloves and some leg warmers. So I'm not being ghosted.
Memory between the fingerless glove hour and the sitting in the car park in the rain hour. Then a bit of lapse. So here we are again in red. I'm not wearing my red dress today. I'm wearing a red top instead.
What's the story?
Well, the story actually relates to my red flowers in my hair rather than my red top.
Oh.
The top has got a story. It's only a little story. I've got a group of friends, and one of our friends is always having a clear out, and we all go around and scavenge and like, oh, I'll have that one, I'll have that one, I'll have that one. And I really wanted this top, but I missed out to my other friend who got it first. And she wore it for a bit, and she went, actually, I think it does look better on you. So I have ended up with it. I won this top in the end. But the flowers, I'm wearing them for 2 reasons. One reason is because of lockdown hair cuttage and needing to hold my hair out of my face. But secondly, I took to wearing flowers in my hair instead of just ordinary clips a while ago. And is it all right if I read a poem to you?
Yeah.
Well, it's a statement. Before I do that, I'll tell you about a meme. There's an M.S meme I've seen. I don't know if you've seen it. And it's the stages of dress. So then there's the first stage of feeling a bit rubbish, but okay to do a few things very gently. And somebody's dressed very, very smartly. And then there's the, feeling pretty good today, gonna get stuff done. And they're in their like tracky bottoms and stuff. And then there's the flop, can't even get out of bed in their gym jams. So we're unlike some people who might be dressed up when they feel at their best. It's suggesting that the dressed up is the not at best, the not flop, but not being able to do stuff, just to make themselves look better, to feel better. And I quite like that meme. And it made me think of this poem, which I wrote with the same kind of sentiment, which all started from a flower that I bought to wear in my hair. So this is a statement. Today, I wear a flower in my hair, not because the sun is shining, because it isn't. Not because winter is gone, though it's still biting. Not because I'm happy, although I'm not unhappy. Today, I wear a flower in my hair as a symbol of making an effort, of remembering, of regaining a bit of self, of being a bit and feeling a bit different. So today, I wear a flower in my hair.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So it's my little poem about doing something to make yourself feel a bit more positive when you're not quite really there.
Red does that. Flowers in hair. Yeah, I like that. I'm just going to have a drink to celebrate.
Cheers.
I'm a big fan of that. Sometimes you do. I mean, it's dead easy right now to not bother.
One of the reasons I like the fact that we've chosen a colour and we dress in it is it makes you think about what you've got and what you can wear and
what it means. Yeah. Although, well, you know, the casino is my happy place. I do miss it. Snow. It's not. It was snowing when we originally decided on snow as a topic.
That's true.
I mean, it doesn't matter that it's not now.
Just checking out the window, it's just grey and miserable, but we can talk snow. It's the
I mean, it wasn't a seasonal choice either.
Have we mentioned how we're choosing the words?
I don't think so.
Well, we've picked our colours quite randomly, haven't we? But then our words, I've got just above, just out of view, I've got a bookshelf, and we've got a book and picked a word at random and gone with that. So that's why we've had a varied selection of topics so far. Snow, what does snow mean to you, Jeanette?
Snow mean to me. I'm trying to think of snow stories. One of my favourites is we had a friend who moved to Tokyo, just outside Tokyo, and he had stayed at ours for quite a long while whilst he moved house one time, so he owed us. So we were able to go to Tokyo, we've been twice, and stay in his house and get bed and everything, so it was cheap.
Yeah.
One time, the second time, I said, I've read about these snow monkeys. I'd like to go and see the snow monkeys. I like a good monkey. So I was like, oh, but I think you had to go on a train, and then from the train get a bus. Now I thought once you got off the bus, they'd be like monkeys.
Yeah.
Not so. Yeah. So, and it was already snowing the day we went. It was all exactly how I'd pictured it, apart from this bit, which was, I'd obviously not read into it very well. A really long trek up this treacherous cliff side path thing, and it was a sheet of ice on top of it, so it was just like all the balance issue is resurfacing. And by the side, like along the side of the path, there were like trees growing up, so but they were very, very tall, so there was a huge drop. When I first looked, I was like, oh, it's kind of like a gradual, you know, when you're weighing up how likely you would die.
What's the percentage of death today?
You probably get, and the path is only like, I don't know, this big, this wide. And I got walking boots on, but they seem to provide absolutely no grip. So I'm looking down thinking, oh, probably would die. I mean, you probably would because you'd hit a tree or something. Anyway, I'm trying to like go along this path, and lots of people walking very confidently, just fast by.
I bet they had spiky things in their feet.
Yeah. It's like, right, get it together. So and then I looked down and I literally did see red snow. There's all this like blood on the ground. I'm gonna die here. Anyway, made it to the end of this thing, and yeah, there's a load of monkeys, and they're all sat in a big, what do they call it? Onsen? Like the hot spa things, just chilling out. Like weird old men, like
they're just sitting there watching all these tourists come to entertain them. But how many can make it this time?
And I actually saw a program about it. We got a free, I was going to say, I'm allowed to say this, free Disney Plus period, like 6 months free. And there was a program about these monkeys, and I didn't watch it all because I fell asleep, but on this program it did seem to suggest there was no human interaction with the monkeys, but in reality you were dead close to them. The whole pool was surrounded by people. It's a lot more public once you get to the actual bit, and the monkeys are all fighting and stuff, but then a whistle blows and they run off to get their tea or whatever they're having. It was really nice, and it was snowing nice, but you had a nice time with your monkeys, and then realised, shit, I've got to walk back. Part of me just wanted to get in that pool and like, I live here now. This is it.
So did you actually slip on the ice?
I didn't. No, I didn't. But I did not enjoy it.
You did well. I can't. I can picture where I was, but I can't picture where I was. I can picture the immediate surroundings, but not where I was. But I know I got caught on some sheet ice near, I want to say the Grand Canyon, but I'm sure it wasn't snowing when I was at the Grand Canyon. We were going to look at a thing, and some of my friends said, oh, we're just going to stop in the cafe. And I thought, oh, we've come all this way. I'm going to go a little bit further. All these children, they were managing to trot around everywhere. And I had my hiking boots on as well. I've since decided that hiking boots are possibly the worst thing ever for snow and ice. Yeah. So I went a little bit and a little bit, and then I fell flat on my face. Thought, okay, I'll go back. And I did that like comedy cartoon thing when you just can't get up and your legs are going this way and your arms are going that way. I did feel A, like a cartoon character, and B, mortified at the same time. This old guy came and helped me up because he was able to stay static. Help me up. And I had to apologize and say thank you. And I went back a bit. And then a little bit later, I thought, no, there's more people there. If I go down that bit and hold on there and hold on there. And I could, and I got down there and I did look at the whatever it was. I can't even remember where I was. I could see the thing.
The thing, definitely worth it for the memories.
For the thing. Couldn't get back up. I thought, at that point, I thought, well, maybe I'll sit here and wait till spring.
Yeah. You just want to submit to it.
Yeah.
That's it then.
Then the more I try and get up, the more I seem to make the ice slippery, and I'm just not getting anywhere. Yeah, some children helped me that time. They went one front, one behind, and kept pushing.
It's just, it's horrible, isn't it? It just, you know, you've gone a bit too far, and you don't know how to get out of it, but you definitely don't want to get out of it because that might be going even more too far. It's just, I don't know.
I think it was a little bit of it was that unwise decision making when you're that little bit too tired to make a sensible decision. Sensible Tish probably wouldn't have gone down the first time, or having gone down it would certainly not have gone down the second time.
I wonder if MS can bring, I've always been stubborn, but I wonder if it can bring another level of stubbornness. I will do this.
Yeah. I think it brings the unwise, the voice that should say that's really not a good idea. And I think when I hear that, I think if I was fine, it would be a good idea. But actually, if I was fine, it wouldn't be a good idea. And I don't listen to that bit. So I think, so if I didn't have any MS, I'd be able to do that. So I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'll just completely disregard the fact I do have it. Just do it.
Yes, yeah. And also disregard the fact that if I didn't have MS, I probably wouldn't have done it because it was not wise.
The level of wrongness adds up and up.
Oh, I did have another snow story.
Oh.
I went to Lapland with a friend.
Wow.
Yeah. We went when Santa was on holiday because it was just after Christmas, but that was okay because we didn't need to see Santa.
No.
We were.
You've been.
Yeah, so it was a last minute thing and a special offer deal, and so we were staying in what turned out to be a place full of people from Lapland, Norway, locals, but not locals, but it was a bit like we were there at a time when I don't know if you know, there was a thing about Ireland where on a certain day all the farmers would come to a certain place to find a wife. You know, it was like that weekend, but it was that weekend in Norway. So the Norwegian Laplanders had all come to this place for that weekend, and they were dancing and stuff. So me and my friend, we'd arrived. We wanted to see the Aurora Borealis. That was our mission, but we failed. Everybody else saw it the week we were there, but we managed to miss it twice. But you know, that's the point. and it was so, it was -30. It was really cold. So you had all your layers on and your ski suit and your hat and your scarf, and as soon as you got inside a building, because it was heated and it was so hot, you had to immediately get everything off before you expired. So that was kind of like a trick to try and get from that. So to get from our little like chalet thing into the main dining hall was about 30 meters, but you couldn't not put everything on just to do that 30 meters to get in inside. Oh, and it wasn't slippy, because once it's that cold, it's not slippy. So when we were inside, a couple of guys came over to ask us to dance, and then when they realized that we spoke English and no other languages, and we didn't know the local dance, it was a bit like a two-step French, what's that French dance called? French two-step, I've forgotten what it's called now. Like a traditional dance that's not quite a ballroomy dance, but not quite it's not freestyling. They did not do freestyling. We weren't doing it right, clearly, because we'd only just gone, oh, what's going on here? And we were such a disappointment, because these people that had come to speak to us obviously had wasted time when they could have been speaking to people that were potential wives, and we were not.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a bit disappointing for them.
You're not wife material.
Wife material. But yeah, I did learn that you know, we're talking about snow being wet, and when snow is between 5 degrees plus and 5 below is when it gets wet and slushy. Once it's below 5 below, it doesn't get wet and slushy. And so if it's snow as opposed to ice, it just stays snow. So that's why they were all walking around in like moccasins and flat things, because it's cold enough for the snow to be snow and not ice.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Strange though, because we're like, why are you walking around in these like soft-soled moccasin shoes? They were the local shoes they were selling everywhere. We're like, but are you going to get wet feet? And they're like, why would we get wet feet? Where's the water?
Just powdery, lovely snow.
Yeah.
We went to Iceland on our honeymoon. Well, on the way to, we went Iceland, New York. And that was very cold. We also didn't see any northern lights. No, I missed out on that. But we did go on little snowmobiles, and I fell off the back. Alex was driving it. And I just thought, this is how I'm going to die. Because it was the only time I've ever been in a complete whiteout. Like, you couldn't see anything, just white. And he zoomed off. I'm on the ground. I was like, okay.
You weren't wearing red, I bet.
No, should have.
I met a Yeti in
Sorry.
yeah, I did. To put it in context, my friend and I had gone because I wanted to do some skiing, and she wanted to do some snowboarding. So I went on the beginner classes, and on the first run of the first day, we went up to the very first little bit for beginners to do our snow plows down, and I could only snow plow one way, and I couldn't turn the other way. I thought I was going to fall off of the piste and onto where the lift was, because I couldn't stop. So I fell over to try and stop, but then I landed on my thumb. So I broke my thumb within 10 minutes of going on the snow on the first day. So that was not the best thing to do.
What'd you do about that? Nothing, I guess.
Well, what I did was sit down and think, I'm just going to cry. But there were other people coming, and the instructor was going, no, you need to get up and come down. And I said, I can't because my hand hurts. So he had to leave me. I don't hold my sticks. And he led me down to the bottom. They said, are you okay? And I went, no, my hand hurts, but I had such huge gloves on. I said, I think my hand is bigger than my gloves because it had swollen up. So they sent me off to the first aid kit, but they said, well, just put some ice on it. And I was thinking, oh, where am I going to get some ice? They were like, snow will do. like completely surrounded by snow. So yeah, put some snow on it. You could ski or sit in the spa pool. That was it, really. So I spent the week sitting with my arm out of the water in the spa thing while my friend went snowboarding. But one day I said, well, I want to go up to the top of the hills, and there was a ski lift up, and you could like get it round and come down again. And there was a cafe at the top. And I thought, I'll go up, I'll have some hot chocolate, I'll come down again. But on the way up, there was a whiteout, a snow blizzard whiteout. And when I got to the top, I thought, well, I'll just go to the cafe and sit and wait until it calms down and then go back down again. And I knew it was like on all the signposts, it said 200 meters this way. I thought I can do this, 200 meters, can't see where I'm going, but you know, what could possibly go wrong?
You'll be fine.
Fine. So I started walking, and the local Sami traditions, they would talk about the Yeti and the other creatures. I've forgotten them. Oh, sprites. Sprites? Yeah, sprites. And the trees, and when they're heavily laden with snow, you just get an outline of a form, and in the snow blizzard they look like people walking towards you, and I was convinced that there was a Yeti heading towards me, and I stood still and thought, should I just keep going and meet the Yeti? Should I head back to where the ski lift was? And by this point you couldn't see all around me, so I thought, this was one of those silly mistakes.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to die. I did think, should I meet the Yeti or should I try and find them? And then
there's something very good about you and very bad about me, that you thought you were going to meet a Yeti and you didn't think you'd die. I just fell onto some snow and I was like,
I did think this was silly, but I didn't think I was going to die. And then some what appeared to be sprites came towards me, all twinkly. But the sprites turned out to be people that seemed to know what to do on a mountain with lights, which was quite handy. So they rescued me and took me back to the thing and sent me back down. But before I'd gone up, I checked. I said, is the cafe at the top open? And they said, yeah, it's definitely open. I said, so if I go up, I'll be okay. And or you can come and said, yeah, you'll be fine. Apparently, there's a cafe halfway up and a cafe at the top. And the halfway up cafe was open, but not the top one. So it was a little bit of lost in translation thing then. So when the sprites got me back to the chairlift, gondola lift thing, got back in the gondola and I went down. And then I realised there was this other stop, and I got off at this other stop and I sat in the cafe and had internet, which I hadn't had for a long time, which was quite bizarre. So I just contacted people and told them I was okay, and they were like, well, why would you not be okay? I thought, well, because I had a broken thumb and I was up in a snow blizzard on my own, wandering.
Oh God. So snow, it's a danger.
Dangerous, but fun.
Yeah, fun. So red snow. We are done. I think we are done. Thank you for watching. I've been Jeanette.
And I've been Lytisha. We hope to see you again soon.